In October of 2001, the United States experienced anthrax attacks using powder sent through the United States Postal Service. 22 people got sick and 5 people died from this attack. We learned just how dangerous anthrax could be.
Bayer's infamous connection to IG Farben and the Nazi Rockefeller biomedical biowarfare cartel concerned me, so I contacted the FBI. Consistent with the nefarious connections between government investigators and drug industrialists, the FBI refused to respond to my urgent warnings and later pleas. The anthrax mailing operation, including the media's coverage of the mailings, sent Bayer stock soaring and approximately 30,000 people in the nation's capital alone to their local drugstores for this potion. Within 6 months, nearly 90% of those frightened people suffered brain damage, in many cases irreversible. This was reported in the Washington Times. The story by investigative journalist Kelly O'Meara was published in the paper's Insight magazine. By October 12, 2001, the FBI had posted a $1 million reward for valuable clues in the anthrax mailings mystery. It took the FBI 6 months to respond to my relentless communications. Then, rather than awarding me anything, even a simple thank you, FBI agents were dispatched to interrogate me as a suspect. 2 months after I urged the FBI to investigate Bayer and the sole anthrax vaccine maker, Bioterror, LLC, the Washington Post reported that the Bureau was pursuing the possibility that financial gain was the primary motive behind the mailings. Washington Post writers Susan Schmidt and Joby Warwick reported on December 21st that the FBI was probing at least 2 military industrial contractors that shipped the specified mailed anthrax powder. The first was the Army's Dugway Proving Grounds, and the second was the Battelle Memorial Institute, BMI, a sort of one-stop shopping mall for everything military. BMI is allegedly a nonprofit CIA and military contractor involved in vaccine acquisitions and development. It also administers and supplies bioweapons facilities at Dugway Proving Grounds, including their main aerosol germ testing structure they euphemistically call the Life Sciences Building. Based on extensive evidence, BMI appeared to be the only anthrax supplier staffed with the resources, human and otherwise, capable of producing the hyper-weaponized anthrax that was mailed. BMI developed a specific AIM strain of powdered anthrax that was twice as concentrated as anything the Soviets had ever produced. Plus, it was electromagnetized to spread easily and rapidly. This work was done under a top-secret CIA bioweapons program an anonymous Pentagon official called Project Jefferson. William Broad of the New York Times twice reported this project was named Clear Vision. I telephoned William Broad after emailing him for months. We spoke of Battelle's labs in West Jefferson, Ohio, as a leading institutional suspect with ties to the drug cartel and the anthrax vaccine maker, Bioport. BMI also administered the U.S. military's Joint Vaccine Acquisitions Program, a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Extensive efforts were being made before and after the mailings to get governing officials to approve of a $250 million anthrax vaccine purchase from Bioport. Meanwhile, congressional investigations had proven Bioport grossly negligent in vaccine quality control. The sole supplier of anthrax vaccine was completely untrustworthy, according to congressional records. The private Bioport company was directed by a wealthy Saudi with banking and suspected terrorist ties, as well as military and presidential ties through U.S. Ambassador to England, William Crowe, a retired Navy admiral. Crowe and friends evolved the company in association with Britain's primary biological weapons testing organization at Porton Down. In other words, Bioport was an American profit-making venture spun from a British government-directed war supplier. The Washington Post reported that the FBI learned about, but evaded, the BMI CIA defensive project. This, despite the fact their bio-warfare contract involved a precise strain of anthrax that was mailed. So what's really going on here? The press and the FBI were aware that Battelle had contracted with the CIA operative and anthrax expert, our good old Grand Dr. William Patrick III, to prepare a report approximately 2 years prior to the anthrax mailings on what this precise germ's capability and lethality would be if mailed. This would not have been done unless someone in that organization had not foreseen its use in the very way it was used, for bioterrorism, to generate fear and financial rewards.
Freedom and fear are at war. The advance of human freedom, the great achievement of our time and the great hope of every time, now depends on us. Our nation, this generation, will lift a dark threat of violence from our people and our future.
This reality check implicates our government's most powerful intelligence agencies in a conspiracy to commit murder, treason, military-industrial sabotage, and bioterrorism, a profitable media-supported form of genocide. In summary, Dr. Kano's primary expert testimony for this history of bioterrorism comes from the two men most suspiciously linked to the deadly anthrax mailings. No other suspects would be so capable, nor high-tech hardware available to them, to bioengineer this hyper-concentrated, electromagnetized, and silica-sensitized mutant that would spread, carry, and kill far better than anything the world had ever seen.